thoughts?
Yeah, I really like him and his team. I mean, we knew they were going to be hard to guard because they've got fifth-year seniors that are dangerous. They can score off the bounce. They can shoot from threes. They've got really good post players. We knew it was going to be a battle. Shows you how great our league is. You know, it's just two good teams battling. I want to give a real special shout out to our crowd. We have no idea what to expect. And we had about 4,000 people with no students. It was pretty remarkable. But just a good basketball game. We adjusted to some ball screen coverages. We did a better job attacking from the high post. Did a better job hunting paint touches and transition. And these two were, they really carried us a lot of the way. And really happy for them and proud of you guys.
You guys don't see haven't seen a ton of zone this year. How do you think you dealt with their aggressive zone?
Really well. I mean, we've been focusing on it since Christmas. We begged and borrowed and really tried to get our guys here, and the guys came for a day, our practice guys. So we got one day to really work on live against the zone. But we've spent a lot of time in the last 2 days is all we've ever talked about, done. Alyssa felt very comfortable in the areas that we knew she could. Lexi been working since the break these last 6 days of we are going to be shot ready in the ACC play. We're going to catch shot ready in a show.
Coach, how would you just describe Alyssa's overall impact today?
She's just special. It's a gift to Carolina to watch her play basketball. I mean, I was walking on my street yesterday, and there's a little 5-year-old that doesn't even know this yet, that he calls her Alyssa Ustby. He can barely talk, right? And he just thinks she is just so great. And he got an Alyssa jersey. He's wearing to the games now, and he's literally I think 3 or 4. She leads with her intentionality. I think she gets a lot of credit for her motor, but she's gotten better at basketball. She's becoming a really good basketball player, and I think that's her goal here. Is not just to be a high effort player, but you saw today change of pace, better vision with the ball, a true kind of facilitator from her spot, just becoming a really good basketball player.
How have you seen her kind of grow into this role throughout her career here at UNC?
Willing, call her willing. She's incredibly coachable, and she doesn't. She seeks feedback. She's willing to put the time in. She's a kid that makes you a better coach because you want her to succeed because of what she gives you. But she dices up the film. We're working on her playing at 2 speeds. Elite athletes are used to just being a better athlete, right? And so we're having to help her understand when she's being guarded by other great athletes, how to utilize her angles and her change of speed. And you saw today she was great at it, right? And whatever reads in crowds. And so when I watch that game back, I always have a list button, and I think she'll start to see some really good things.
Alyssa, you made several really big plays at the end of the fourth quarter. Can you kind of just describe your mentality in those moments?
I kind of think about every possession matters and trying to pay attention to detail. So at the end of the game, everybody's tired, both teams, and so that's when I really try to get myself to focus. So I'm always reminding myself what I'm doing. And then really about the plays I made in the fourth quarter, I don't even remember any of them right now because I'm just so excited that we got the win, and I'm so happy that our team is 1-0 in the ACC because that's something that we should be proud of and celebrate. And I'm just glad I get to do it with my teammates on the last day of the year.
Coach, 16 assists today after just 4 in the Oklahoma game. Was that a function of those extra practices that you got in over the holiday break? Was it just feeling that much more together?
I think the shots go in when we get better shots. So I think we really are stressing our guards are catch pass ready. We need to be catch shot ready. So yes, we have completely obsessed on that since they saw me on the 26th, and it paid off. And we used film to show them, but also we drilled a lot of it, not just shooting, but where are your hands and feet on your catch. I think these guys they're incredibly coachable. They're resilient, and this was a step in the right direction.
Lexi, in the third quarter, you kind of kicked in the perimeter shooting. How important was it against the zone for the guards to start hitting, and you really accelerated that in the third quarter?
Yeah, we hit a couple in the first half, but then I think the third quarter was when it really kicked in, and we made a lot of threes, and we went on a huge run, and that run was what put us in a better position to win the game. We had a lot of assists tonight. We were very unselfish, and we were getting the shots in transition and off attacks, the shots that we want.
But as a team, you had a season high 3-pointer total. How dangerous can the offense be if this can be a consistent effort?
Yeah, I just think it's one more way for us to make our offense really hard to guard. If we're able to shoot it a little bit better from 3, which we've been working on it a lot, so it feels good to see that success tonight.
Lexi, was there anything that changed maybe at halftime or going into the third that kind of made that effective?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we still got a lot of good looks in the first half. They just didn't fall as much, but we really just sat down with each other at halftime and we were like, come on guys, like we're in ACC play now, like we need to expect more from each other, we need to expect more from ourselves, and we need to go out there and get a win. And so it was just really collective, and we all came together and had people step up and make shots when we needed them to.
Alyssa, this being obviously your fourth go at ACC play, for you, what's kind of needed to take that next step to essentially winning the conference from now until I guess the end of February?
Yeah, it's really all about stacking days. So stacking practices and then focusing on the next game. So not looking too far ahead. We're going to celebrate this win today, and then we're going to have our off day to rest our bodies and recover. But then moving forward, we're worried about the next opponent and just take it day by day.
Do you kind of predict where the 3-point misses will go? It seems like half the 3-point misses, you got the rebound.
I don't know. I love going after rebounds. It's so fun to me, and that's why I just keep telling the guards whenever I can to keep shooting, because I love to rebound. I don't know why. It's just like a fun thing for me. But yeah, I don't really calculate it much, but typically long shots, long rebounds, and rebounds, if Lexi's shooting it from like the left wing, I'm going to be on the right side, because I think if she's going to miss long, it might go that way. But it's really just about the pursuit.
And then Alyssa, kind of for you, what have you kind of communicated to some of your teammates that haven't been through ACC play, and just kind of what have you kind of told them about just the nature of it?
Really, like similar to taking things day by day, the games are play by play, because any team can beat anyone in the ACC, and that's just how competitive and speaks to how good our conference is. So it's just one play at a time, one quarter at a time, and just trying to win every loose ball, every possession, and once we get momentum, keep using it and use it to our advantage.
Lexi, I've heard Coach talk a lot about being shot ready. In the third quarter, you were definitely that. What does that term mean to you, and how do you stay shot ready?
Yeah, I mean, to me it means getting my feet behind the ball on every catch and catching it, and like literally being shot ready. Like my first thought is, I can shoot this, I can get it off, I have enough time, rather than catching it to like scan the floor, see if our big's open, if the high post is open. So it's really just focusing on feet first and getting ready, getting your hands and your feet ready to be able to let the ball go, and with a quick release, just without really a thought, like just catch it and let it go.
Is your release gotten quicker as the season has gone on?
I would think a little bit at least, yeah. We worked on it a lot, and in my individual workouts and practice and everything, it's definitely something we've been focusing on, because I personally want to make shots at a really high level, and I know that I need to continue to get better. So the staff's really been helping me a lot to work on being shot ready and to make my release a little bit quicker.
Lexi, how does Alyssa in particular kind of complement your playing style?
Oh my gosh. This could take a while. She just plays hard, and there's never a second off with her. Every single play she's going as hard as she can. Every single rebound, every single defensive possession, offensive. Like, she's the one that always gets those steals in the passing lanes. I'm handling the ball on defense all the way up the court, and then she's the one that's picking up those passes all the time. So, I mean, she just has such a great impact to this team because of her relentless pursuit on every possession, offensive and defensive. And yeah, we're really happy to play together.
Thanks, Lex.
Yeah, Courtney, it's 3 games in now for Tiani Key coming off of the injury. How would you kind of assess her performance so far, and just what have you liked from her?
I'm a total fan of Tiani Key. I think people have so much. You can hear the crowd when she touches it. We're all like, yes, right? And so we want her to be a junior on the floor, and she's not. She's basically a second semester freshman, right? She hasn't played much, and so as she's finally gotten healthy and can sustain practices, I just think her performance will continue to grow. How Alyssa is playing right now and how Lexi's playing is not how they played their first 7 games of their career, right? And so it's really hard to not want more. When we see in practice, as a jump from practice to games, that's a huge step for kids. But the Tiani in practice, we know that we're going to get a really good product from her. And so to give us almost 10 minutes in an ACC opener shows you how much we trust her. And we'll need her again to continue to get ready for Thursday.
Coach,
And I guess
overall, do you feel
on that same vein? How close are Kayla and Renai to getting that?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think in this business, especially when you recruit them all and you love them so much, if you hang on to every God, how many more minutes, how many more days, how many more weeks, you're going to drive yourself crazy, right? And so I don't know, I know that, the return to play progression, I trust that they'll put them in positions where they won't be successful. And I just, it's something I've really worked hard on, is to be really disciplined, to just focus on the kids that are playing and not let the kids that are out or the kids that are working their way back, not letting that bother me, because that's the energy that then they'll feel, these guys will feel. So I think they feel like when I come out to practice, I'm all in on the group, right? And so some of those emotions I've taught myself to not worry about. So I don't know, when they're cleared, they'll be on the floor.
Can you speak to the front?
Wait,
Go
Michael,
ahead. Go ahead.
No, that was my question. So, all right.
Can you speak to the front court rotation? You played two bigs for a lot of minutes, and then you had three separate fives who played as the only big. What did you like about the different combinations?
Maria's length was obviously a problem on the defensive end. She had 9 rebounds in 25 minutes. I think offensively she didn't understand quite how we wanted her to attack the zone as well. But Anya did, right? Anya's got a very high basketball IQ, so doesn't have as much length, but has a better kind of overall understanding of, because she's been here longer, of what we want. And then Tiani, every second I can give her will get her better, right? And so it's getting her more and more ready as the season progresses in that way. And so, I really like everybody on the roster a lot, right? And so what we see from practice, and also it allows me to, Oklahoma was very scout specific, and Ali Zelaya is really great at understanding scouts and really attuned to that. This with the physicality of we don't know how to say her name, 21 and 5, we wanted the length of Maria to combat the angles of Anya and Tiani. So it comes down to just the gamesmanship part of it.
So do you expect to play two bigs a lot, or is that just specific to this
Depends
game?
on the game. I think when you're in zone, you can get to the offensive glass really well. Who's good in the high post? I mean, it really. I think at times there's probably, if we had any selfishness on this team, they'd be like, well, what the heck? I played more. I don't think that's how it is. They realize I'm here to help. However I can help, I want to do it, right? And they're genuinely happy for each other as we use them.
Maybe got one more.
What thoughts and emotions were going through your mind that minute and a half stretch where you made 3 threes in that third quarter, and what were you thinking if you won?
I mean, they were all off assists, so I'm just thinking of the person that passed it to me after every single one. That they were all in transition off of an assist, so I mean, feels good when they go in, but also I know that my teammates are the ones creating those shots for me, so I'm grateful to be playing with them and to be put in those positions to succeed.
And I told him before the game, you got to trust your work, right? At some point, you got to trust your work, right? And these two kids in particular, there's a lot of them down the roster that you've got to trust your work. And she's doing that. Her shot, she's getting shots in games, and she's taking them, which will be better if she continues to do that.
All right, last
Can you speak to the flow of the game? You were up by 10 with like 3 minutes left, and they came back and made it a little bit too close for comfort. What was causing the ebbs and flows there in the final
Two
minutes?
really good teams. I mean, it's when Harris puts her head down, and of course 5 being one of the better players in our league, Robinson and Harris. I mean, they've got nothing to lose, and they're just going straight downhill, right? And then we missed 2 free throws, so a little bit, and then they go straight downhill. I mean, I didn't feel like it wasn't in our control. Maybe it was a little too close to comfort for y'all. I felt like we're all right. We just got to make these next 2, right? And so we wanted them to give up Harris. We weren't going to let her make a play for somebody else. We were going to make her take a 2-point shot, and that's what she did. And we're okay with those. Guys, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach.